Are you sick of where you're living now, or maybe just looking for a change and you're wondering if Minneapolis is right for you? Then keep watching, because I'm going to tell you all the things that you can look forward to, as well as some of the not so great things that you should consider before moving here. I like to end on a positive note, so I'm going to start with the cons. Con number one being the winter. It gets cold. A lot of days are dark and gloomy, but it's not necessarily the severity of winter that's tough to deal with, it's the length of winter. It's unpredictable. It may drop below 30 as early as October and then maybe not hit 50 until late March or April. But then sometimes you get a few 50-degree days in November and December. January and February are always the coldest, and it's not uncommon for the temperature to drop below zero for several days in a row. And it actually has gotten down to -60 with the wind chill, which causes another issue, which is slippery, icy roads and black ice. But I will say that 20 degrees will never feel warmer to you than it does in those 2 months. So yeah, all of that isn't great. But if we didn't have winter, a lot more people would move here, and all the parks and the lakes and all the natural spaces would be a lot more crowded, and the housing would be a lot more expensive. Lots of people love the winter and actually look forward to ice fishing and hockey and skiing and snowboarding. And we have tons of holiday markets, 32 just in the Twin Cities. And we even have other winter festivals that have saunas. So really, you just have to go out there and figure out a way to enjoy it, and you'll learn to love it. The next con is the mosquitoes. Now, I realize a lot of states have mosquitoes, but we have thousands of lakes, so we have thousands of breeding grounds for them. The thing that sucks is that we have so many really amazing places to go camping, but then get swarmed by mosquitoes. For example, my sister and I, we went camping and we got lost on the way back, and it was dusk. And we got swarmed, like I'm not kidding, swarmed, to the point where we didn't even know what to do. And we saw a person, we ran to them and we begged them for bug spray. And by the time we got back to the campsite, it looked like we had chickenpox. Everybody hates mosquitoes. But the nice thing is that we don't have them all year round. There are actually several months that are warm and mosquito-free. The next con is the income tax. Minnesota has the 6th highest income tax in the country, ranging from 5.3 to 9.9, depending on your tax bracket. And of course, I know that sucks, but it does balance out a bit, because Minnesota also ranks number 14 for the highest median income. The next con is the construction. So because winter causes potholes, the construction is consistent, because every year they need to repair the damage in addition to the other construction stuff they need to do. And it is annoying. It is very annoying. Like, I've been on the verge of tears because I could not find an open on-ramp to get onto 35W, and it ended up taking me an hour and a half to get somewhere that should have taken me 20 minutes. But I was stubborn, and I should have used Google Maps. But I will say that because of our infrastructure, it is nice because there are multiple ways to get places. And if you're not stubborn like me, just use Google Maps and it won't be a problem. Before I move on to all the things you can look forward to, I want to mention something that can be a con for some and a pro for others, and that's that Minnesota is a blue state. I will say, the farther you get out of the cities, the more conservative people tend to be. I have noticed that I get a lot of comments on my videos about how the Minneapolis used to be great, but then the libs are taking over and they're going to destroy Minnesota. But, you know, while I see flaws with both political parties, I personally love that women have the right to choose what happens with their body in private, and also that a lot of my friends in the LGBTQ community have said they feel more accepted here than they have in any other state that they've lived in. Now for the things that you can look forward to, number one being that we have 4 seasons. Having 4 seasons is awesome, because each season gives you a little something that you can get excited about. Spring, you're all excited because it's getting a little bit warmer and everything is blooming. And then summer, of course, you can do all the outdoor stuff like camping and hiking and biking around the lakes. And then fall comes and you're sick of mosquitoes, and then they're gone. And then they have all the beautiful colors, and the air is like nice and crisp, and it's spooky season. And then of course winter, which may not be everybody's favorite, but has a lot of great things to offer. And even if you don't like it, it still allows you time to slow down, because the summers can be really busy. And really, I think having 4 seasons makes you more adaptable. Another pro is that we have a strong job economy, and Minnesota often has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. We're also home to several Fortune 500 companies like Target and General Mills, Best Buy, 3M, and they supply a lot of jobs. And the wages in Minnesota are higher than average when compared to the cost of living. Another pro is that we have a lot of things to do. You can go camping, hiking, biking, hang out by the lakes, go do any water activities, or go to music venues, festivals, or fairs. There's so much going on in the Twin Cities. There's literally an event every single weekend, whether you want to go to a live music show or a sporting event, a Broadway show, or maybe you just want to go on a brewery tour. There are So many different ways to entertain yourself. And if you want to know more about Minneapolis and you have specific questions about things to do, you can always reach out to me and I can answer all the questions. Bikability is another pro. Minneapolis is one of the most bike-friendly cities in the entire country, and we have miles and miles and miles of protected bike trails, and I bring this up in a lot of videos, but you have the Greenway, and it's freaking awesome. It's a beautifully scenic bike trail that's tucked away from cars that cuts through the city and leads to the chain of lakes and other shops and connects to a bunch of other trails that will get you all around Minneapolis. And there's nothing like biking around all the lakes and stopping at the local coffee shops or restaurants, and it's truly the best way to explore the city. Another pro is the music scene. You will find a show that you love no matter what kind of music you like. We have hundreds of venues. There's big venues like the Target Center and the Excel Center, and there are smaller venues like the Fine Line and Palace Theater and the Caboose, and a lot of dive bars will have local live music every single weekend. And we're also home to First Avenue, which is where Prince started his musical legacy, and every Minnesotan will let you know that. But there's music everywhere around the city. House and techno DJs play at the Poorhouse every Sunday during the summer. Jazz at the Dakota Jazz Club. And then you can hear funk and rock at Bunker's Nightclub in the North Loop. And a lot of breweries will have free shows. The music scene here is awesome. If after all that you're thinking, yes, I do want to move to Minneapolis, but you're also thinking, well, what if St. Paul is better? Watch this video next and see.